Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today we're going to try to replace the front ribbon cable on an Xbox One. So this incorporates the power button, the eject button, and also the sync button at the side here. Now on this Xbox, this was the one that I did a trying to fix video on. I got it for £28 from eBay, and it is working perfectly. It just needed a clean, so this is like the bargain of 2019 for me. But I do need to change the front ribbon cable because this sync button here is not working, and I proved the fault onto the actual button itself rather than anything else. So now I do actually have quite a lot of tools, but in this video I'm not going to be using the plastic tools and these little things to pry it open. I'm going to be trying to do it all with just a normal butter knife, because I appreciate a lot of you out there will not have a load of tools. So let's see if it's doable with the knife. If I can't, then I can always resort to my tools afterwards. So I bought the front ribbon cable from Hong Kong. It was delivered for £1.90, so very, very little money. And I've got some super glue, because when we remove this front little bit here, we will need to glue it back into place because it's like plastic riveted at the moment. So let's see how easy or hard this is going to be. So to begin with, we need to remove this side panel here. So we're going to get our knife and we're going to put it in to here, and we're going to just prise that bit out, and then this whole side bit will just remove like so. You can see there's clips in various different places. Now this Xbox has been apart before, so it will be easier for me than your one if you've never done it before, because you know what it's like when you've taken something apart. The clips become a bit more, I don't know, they kind of come apart easier than if it's never been done before. Now with this bit here, we need to slide this bit towards here. You can see it just runs along a couple of runners. Slide that bit out. Now we need to separate it from this bit here, so we're going to push in on one of them and out on the other one while pulling it apart. So let's see which way it is. It is that way. Okay, so we need to push in on the top part and out on this part here while separating them, and you will see it's popped out like so. Now this is the hardest bit. We now need to keep opening it up like this while getting our knife and moving it along. So let's put it down on the ground for this bit. You can see I've got pressure here. I'm just kind of using the weight off the Xbox, and now I'm just going to start moving it along, moving my knife along. There we go, that's one. And see if I can get another. There's another. There we go. Okay, there's another. And now the whole thing's sprung up. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes what happens is it levers from the top there, and also sometimes you might have to undo the ones on this side as well. You can see there's basically catches here, 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 and here, here, here. So what we have to do is we just have to prise this away from that part there. Right, so for me now, that was actually made quite easy, because as you can see, the whole thing is ready to come off. Now I'm not going to rip it there, because you can see that's where the ribbon cable is. Now it doesn't actually matter in this instance, because I will be replacing this ribbon cable. But if the front bit stays on for you, so basically if it's kind of wedged on like this, then what you can do is you can either try to just move it up very, very gently until the front corner seal here breaks, because this is joined together with all these clips here. Yeah. Or what you can try to do is, there's also clips at the front here, all these clips here, and you can reach in and you can start to undo them like that. The problem is they keep wanting to spring back all the time, but once you get the end one undone, then if you put pressure on it there, then you see, if we do the next one, you can see it's going, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Oops, that one broke, and there we go, and that one there. Yeah, and then that will come off again. You can see all the catches here, and this was the one here that just snapped on me at the very end, but it's fine. Remember, you're only dealing with plastic. They're not really been designed to be kind of taken apart hundreds and hundreds of times. Right, so now bring it around to the front, and we want to undo this ribbon cable here. So again, if you're replacing it, it doesn't really matter if you do rip it at this stage, but you might as well try to do it without ripping it, because then you know in future that you can undo it without breaking it. So what we want to do is, can you see the ribbon cable actually incorporates itself around this bit here? So if we get ourselves a little knife and just, can you see I've unhooked it? And now there's two little bits we need to push out, that plastic bit and that plastic bit. So you can see there's two sections here, because one's discoloured, right? You see that's just popped itself round again. So make sure that that is like that. Otherwise, every time you go to undo this, it won't let you, because this is catching. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get the knife and we're just going to ease it out at the bottom like that, and out at the top like that. And you can now see that that's come away, and that is our ribbon cable free. And that's that one there. So what we need to do is, when we put the new ribbon cable in, we need to push it in here, and we need to basically push that in, and you can see it clips into place. To make it slightly easy for yourself, you can actually pivot it out towards yourself a tiny bit, which makes it easier to get the new ribbon cable in. But we'll worry about that when we put the new ribbon cable in. Right, let's move that to one side now, and now we have this down here. So this is the awkward bit. Basically, this just peels itself on and off with a bit of sticky tape, so that's absolutely fine. But annoyingly, there's a couple of plastic rivets here and here. So what I'm going to have to do is, you could get a drill and put it in there. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to use a knife, and I'm just going to keep repeatedly doing it like this until I actually wear through the plastic. A screwdriver will probably work better, or a sharper knife. But let's give it a go with this, because I am trying to do the whole thing with just a normal knife. Now, just to save my rug getting covered, I'm just going to get a little mat. Right, so I'm going to use downward pressure, and I'm just going to be turning like this. You can already see that the plastic is starting to break. In fact, let's zoom right in for this bit. There, I don't need to do any more than that. You can see that I've broken that plastic away from it there. So now let's do exactly the same on this one here. Again, just using downward pressure while turning the knife. I think that will do, because I've taken the head off it there. Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit. So what I have to do now is I have to pry this off. So I'm going to be using my knife, and I'm just going underneath it. Now, you probably will damage the ribbon cable when you do this, but again, it doesn't matter because you're replacing it. Okay, can you hear it going? There you go. Right, now I'm going to take this off. Now, what you will notice is, when you put the new one on, that will never look as nice again, because it's going to be covered in air bubbles and stuff. You can see already now, since I've done that, the finish is completely gone. I'm not sure if there's a way around that or not. Right, so there we go. I'm not going to touch that because I want to keep it nice and clean. So that's now off. And now what we have to do is we have to take off this ribbon cable. So my sink side's already near enough off. I'm just going to peel it all the way along. And around that bit there. Okay, and in fact you can still see the dirt, because I cleaned the Xbox, but obviously I couldn't clean the inside of this ribbon cable. But you can see the dirt and grime has actually gone into that bit there. This particular one was absolutely filthy. Right, so we're going to get a new one now. So far it's all gone to plan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at this end here. Just going to try to knock the dirt out. Hopefully yours won't be as dirty as this. See, even in doing that, I've probably now got dirt in the old glue in this part here. Right, so let's start with this bit. So let's just peel the tape off, and we're going to get that hole to fit around this hole exactly. And remember, the ribbon cable part is actually going on the top part here, the top part. Right, so I'm going to put the ribbon cable just resting it up there so we know roughly where it's going to be. Now let's try to get it lined up. Right, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm going to push that down into place. Right, so that is that part done. And now we just have to do the next bit now, so let's peel off this part. It comes in different sections, so you can do it section by section. And can you see that there's a little locating pin here, and there's a hole there, so we just need to line up that with that. There we go, and once you're happy, just press it down into place. Okay, and this is the part that's going to connect to the Xbox. So this is left loose, there's no sticky bit on this because it needs to come out to meet the Xbox. Right, next we're going to deal with the little eject button. So again, I'm going to peel that off there, and I'm just going to place it in position just there. And press down. Next we have another locating hole here. This particular ribbon cable's been creased because of the way it was packaged, but it should be fine. So let's peel off this bit. Locating that one, and there's another little location hole here. And again, you're just following the line on top here. So locate it through there and here. This bit's all left loose, and the last little bit is the actual button itself. So we just need to peel that bit off, and we're going to line that up perfectly just with the edge there. Like so, and now I'm just going to press that into place. So there we go. That is it in place now. So what we have to do now is we have to place this Xbox button back into its home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some super glue, and I'm going to put them on the posts here and here as well. Right, so I'm placing it just on the post and around the post. It's around the post that is actually going to do the sticking. Okay, so you can see I've put a good bit here and also here. So with this now, you can only put it on one way, because if you have a look, they put a little tiny little, let's call it a little wall just here, a little plastic wall, but not on that side. So this side is the pointier side, because obviously the Xbox logo needs to be facing the correct way. Okay, so the pointy side is this one here compared to that side there. So this is the one that's going against the wall. So we're just going to place that in there, like so, and you need to push it right down so the Xbox logo goes into the actual hole. And you can see now that these bits here are pressing against here and here. So I'm just going to keep that pressed down for a few minutes, but unfortunately you can see it doesn't look very nice. It's obvious it's been done. Right, I'm just pressing down, and I'm just forcing down the super glue with my knife. Right, okay, so the sensible thing would be to leave that for about 10 minutes or so to set, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of super glue activator on it just to try to speed up the process a bit. Right, so with the activator it just evaporates off, so now we can actually put this back on the Xbox. So let's get it back over and put it the right way round, which is this way round, and now we want to get this ribbon cable in here. So let's zoom in a bit. Right, so this is very fiddly to do, so make sure that that is out, and if possible face it towards you as well, because the problem is we have very little room because this rips very easily. So we're going to tilt up this front part here so we have more cable to work with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in here like so, can you see? And I'm going to put the ribbon cable around the back bit, like that. And now I'm going to push it in. I mean, it's already kind of, the ribbon cable's already pushed it in. But can you see now that that's fully in, because this back part of the ribbon cable has actually gone right the way into it. So you can see it's gone round here and down the side. Right, so now what we have to do is we can leave this just gently loose there. Don't whack that or anything, because you'll end up ripping that ribbon cable. Let's put this cover back on, and then we can place this in at the end. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the controller and just rest it here, just to take a little bit of pressure off it. Right, so with this we're going to line it up and we're going to push it in home. So now this can be quite fiddly, because you've got to line it up all the way around the back and stuff. I mean, I was very lucky there, and it just went straight. In. I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, that's okay there, and that's okay there as well. Yeah. So now we're going to put the bottom bit in first. You can see where all the bits need to line up. So if you have a look here, can you see all these bits need to go into the holes, like there? Well, not the holes, but the gaps in between the bits that are sticking up. Yeah, you can see there when you move it left to right, it's not going anywhere else. And then we just need to get this and start pushing it in, making sure that these tabs don't go on top. Obviously these tabs don't go on top of here, all the tabs go in. So if it's not lining up properly, just push some of these down and hopefully it will start to go in. And then basically you will hear them all click into place. There, there, and it's quite satisfying. And look at that, you can see now that that is all joined nicely there. The join's going right the way around the back there, all the way along here. Unfortunately you will have to ruin your little warranty sticker and this bit here. So now we're going to get the front bit, and all we have to do is slide it up. And if you're wondering why there's a bit of orange there, that's because that orange will line up with your eject hole. So if you ever wondered about how to eject a disc, if your Xbox ever broke, you can see there that you just get a paper clip and you put it right the way into that hole, and it will physically remove the disc just enough for you to grab it and pull it out. Okay, so push that into place like so. And then the last bit is getting this bit here, and you just line this up. You can see there's holes at the front here. These two prongs go into these two holes. You line that up there and you just tap that into place, and your Xbox is now back together. So let's turn this on and make sure that the power, eject and sync button are now working. Okay, I haven't turned this on yet. I've plugged in the power brick, but it's not connected to the TV. So now let's see if the on button works. Perfect, first time. Now you can see when it lights up, then it looks okay. You'd have to look pretty closely to notice that it's been tampered with. But when it's off, you can definitely see air bubbles and stuff in there. Right, okay, so that's on there. Now let's try this. Yeah, there you go. Did you hear that? So let's put a disc in it. And see if eject works. There we go. And let's try the sync button, because that's what was originally wrong with it. So we're going to press it and hopefully that light will start flashing there. Ready? Perfect, there we go. And let's just make sure it is syncing up. I just turned on my other Xbox, hold on. Yeah, there we go, perfect. Now, so as you can see, a relatively, I wouldn't call it an easy job, but if you would just take your time, and if you're not scared about breaking a couple of the plastic tabs, then it is doable with just the knife. But you see, you can do little things yourself instead of going out and buying a new one, and a lot of the time it can be repaired very cheaply and with using relatively basic tools. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care, bye now.